Awesome. What are some of the other props that you have in movie memorabilia and stuff?
I got all day for that. Well, I mean, it sounds silly. I mean, I got movie posters signed by the entire cast of everything. A lot of them are gone now. Here's my favorite one is I actually met the entire cast of Evil Dead.
Wow.
Which was I love Evil Dead so much. And that's a big framed up there. I have signed posters of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original.
Yeah.
I have autographs of me and a lot of people from the movie set. So when you walk in, you got me and Bill Otis or Captain Spaulding.
Right.
Or the Michael Myers and stuff like that. You have them all there, and they're like, this guy's weird.
Where do you meet a lot of these people? Do you go to a lot of the con type events? Yeah.
Actually, over the weekend is the first year in 13 years I actually haven't gone. But I usually go to this one in Orlando called Spooky Empire. That's where I have the pin. And up there, they call me Mr. Halloween too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I got to meet them, and they love meeting me. And after you go so many years, they start to remember you.
Right.
And one morning, I woke up super early, at 6 a.m. to have breakfast before everybody got up because as you guys are, you wake up super early.
Sure.
And I go downstairs to have breakfast, and there was Pinhead, and there was the creature from Black Lagoon having breakfast.
That's awesome.
And I was like, okay, so I get my own table in the corner, and I can't help but look.
Yeah.
And then Doug Bradley, Pinhead, goes, you know what we are? I'm like, duh. So he's like, come on over here. So I got to have breakfast.
That is badass.
With just us three having breakfast, and just talking fun stuff.
That's
and
cool.
I go to my room to tell my friends, I'm like, you won't believe this. I just had breakfast with Pinhead.
Wow.
And they're like, no, you didn't. I'm like, nobody knows. This is before cell phones.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't have any way to prove it.
Yeah, but it was a fun. Yeah, so I always go up there. I'll tell you though, I met Robert Englund.
Yeah,
he's
Freddy.
probably Freddy Krueger, one of the nicest guys ever.
Yes,
which is so strange
I
because
heard
he's
that
a
about
very
him.
tiny person.
Right.
And he enunciates with his hands. He likes
Right.
and he loves to talk to you. Another great person I met was Danny Trejo. Trejo.
Yeah.
Machete.
Yeah.
Nice guy, animal activist. He will talk your ear off.
Yeah.
Candyman. I met him.
Oh, cool.
Another good one. He actually got $100,000 for each bee sting he got.
No kidding.
Needless to say, that man got paid.
He got paid a lot.
Fun fact, he's actually which is very weird, he's a Patriots fan.
Really?
But he's a Yankees fan.
No kidding.
So it's kind of
That's a weird
that's
dichotomy.
a weird one, yeah. So you
Very
can talk
strange.
football. If you ever meet him, talk football. He will talk with you all day.
Right.
Rob's the same way?
Oh, yeah. He's a Yankees and
I'm a Yankees and
Patriots
Giants. I didn't convert over.
We got John in Cape Coral. Hey, John, what's going on? You were on with Mr. Halloween. Chris Webb, what's happening?
Hey, John, what's up?
Hey, Freakshow. Hey, Mr. Halloween. It was an honor to speak to you.
Right on,
I'm
man.
a big
Thank you
horror
very
fan myself.
right.
Actually, I wanted to talk to you guys about the whole hockey mask thing, how they came about that with Jason. I guess around that time in the 80s, the hockey was getting big with everybody, all the goalies getting their own mask and doing their own thing. And they were like, you know what, we're going to use that as something to use for a killer. And that's how that whole concept came about.
Wow.
And I think it was the New York Rangers that had that actual mask as one of their things. And that's why you see in Jason Takes Manhattan that it's on the billboard.
So,
I
see.
The more you know.
Yeah,
interesting Easter egg there.
it was a big thing, I guess, and that's how that came about.
Excellent.
That's awesome, man.
But I was like, let me call in and let them know.
That's very cool.
I mean, this is part of history.
I like that.
Cool, man. Thanks for telling us. Appreciate that.
Yeah, bro. Thanks, man. We appreciate the phone call. Have a good one. All right. 866 to beat. Ozzy is in Lehigh Acres. What's up, Ozzy?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, Bernie, and hey, Chris.
How you doing?
Actually, me
Another
and Chris
zombie
had talked
prom
on
guy.
Twitter, I think it was yesterday, right?
That's right. It was yesterday. Yes.
Nice. Very cool. Ozzy, are you a big horror movie fan?
Okay. Oh, my God, yeah.
What's your favorite horror movie, Ozzy?
Yeah, what's your
Stuff
favorite?
that just is very, how do you say it nicely, very sadistic, I guess.
Oh, yeah. All right. That's not weird. What's your
Since
favorite?
we're on the topic,
Yeah.
huh?
What's your favorite horror movie?
Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean.
Mr. B.
I like it. That's funny.
No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, probably it would have to be not the original Exorcist, but the Exorcism of Emily Rose.
That was a good one. I'm not gonna lie. I actually watched that. It's actually a pretty good story too about
Yeah.
that.
And the weird part is that was based on a true story.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are scariest to me.
Yeah.
Is the ones, and thank you, Ozzy, for the call. The ones that are scariest to me are the ones that are based on a true story. I mean, even though obviously they're greatly fictionalized, when you see like an Exorcism of Emily Rose or the other one, even The Exorcist.
The Exorcist to me was one of the best ones.
Yeah.
It's funny because if you ask a certain generation what was your scariest movie,
right?
To me, to somebody like our age, it's usually Poltergeist,
right?
Because of
that's
that
a scary
damn
movie.
Clown.
Oh, that effing clown!
Seriously, that's why a lot of people our age are scared of clowns. Now, if you ask our parents, they will say The Exorcist, which was like because of the hype. Kane Hada, as we were saying, he said that The Exorcist was one of the scariest movies he's ever seen because of the hype. People were fainting, passing out, because nobody's ever seen a movie
I heard
like
someone died watching the movie.
And you don't mess with religion back in, I guess, in the day, which nowadays, who cares? You know what I mean? But back then, it was so taboo.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what made it, hype up even more in the book.
And if you look at, like, the generation prior to that, if you look at, like, the 50s and 60s horror movies, they hyped them up in different ways. There was always a gimmick to hype them up. Things happening in the theater, like, electrified seats or...
Like Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho.
Right.
Nobody wanted to take a shower.
Right.
When Jaws came out, nobody wanted to go in the ocean.
No.
So things like that, which I think are so cool because, like, it's the fear
Yes.
of things like that, which... Fear is not, it's just a mental thing. There's no reason to really be scared.
Yeah.
But it's something you're not used to because it's something you don't want to embrace.
Right.
Now, personally, me, I love embracing fear because, one, I don't get scared easy.
Yeah.
So if, like, things like that I can get scared at, I love. Like you said, the paranormal ones.
Yes.
Let's just say it with the movie Insidious. Have you guys seen that one?
I have seen that,
Okay. When that Darth Maul thing popped up behind, I literally clapped my hands.
Yes.
And I'm a grown man. Right? I had to clap my hands and flick on all the lights.
Right.
Like,
whoa.
To me, I mean, I've been watching horror movies most of my life.
Sure.
I do not get scared.
Oh,
but when I do, Lord have mercy. It's so fun to do.
And The Conjuring and The Conjuring 2.
Conjuring 2 was excellent. I mean, I still remember, like, let's say even if you like, I call them gore porn.
Right.
Which is like the Saws, the Hostels, the stuff like that. I remember, I mean, spoiler alert, sorry, it's 10 years old. When Saw came out, I saw that in a theater. When that guy stood up at the end.
Right.
The whole audience lost their mind.
Yes.
Boy, it's like,
Such
like the chills all over you.
Right.
I love
that.
things like that. And, just like Hostel is another one, just gore porn. Actually, there's a couple of good movies that, if you guys want to know the goriest, we're already talking scariest movies.
Yeah,
there's actually two movies that are quite gory. I don't really like to talk about it on the air because, I don't want the little ones to find out. But there's a movie from the early 80s and 70s, and it's actually illegal in about 16 countries. It's Eli Roth's favorite movie and Rob Zombie's favorite movie. It's called Cannibal Holocaust. It's not really a horror movie, but the story about it, everything's in it. Actually, they thought it was a snuff film.
Really?
So the director actually was facing prison time because they had to bring the actors out of the shadows to show them that, they're still alive.
Oh, my God.
This movie's banned in so many countries, and actually, I found it. I found it in all places. Netflix.
Really?
And,
No
and
kidding.
to buy it, though, it costs like $70, and you can't buy it here in America.
What's it called?
It's called Cannibal Holocaust.
Wow.
It's a story about it. It's really good. It's more like a documentary.
Right.
And it's, Eli Roth did a movie called Green Inferno, which is more like a part 2, like they return to the area.
Yeah.
Which is a great, disgusting movie. If you're a fan of horror, my brother tried to watch it. He actually had to leave the room.
Holy
A lot
crap.
of people cannot watch this movie because it's so graphic.
gory. Yeah.
And there's other things in there that make it very disgusting.
Ooh.
But I love it.
That's awesome.
Another good one, the second grossest movie I've ever seen, I've seen a lot of gross movies, is Human Centipede Part 2.
Yes.
That's what I was
Part
going to ask
two.
you about.
Part 2 is crazy.
That is a disgusting
It really
movie.
is.
There's 3?
There's 3.
Okay.
There are.
3 was a joke.
The prison one is 3?
I'm sorry, the prison one's 3.
Yeah.
Okay, because I saw the first and the third one. I couldn't find the second one on Netflix, though.
It was on. Usually they put them on, they take them out. But the second one literally is the black and white one. And when it was coming out, actually that movie's banned in a bunch of countries as well.
Wow.
And they took a lot of it out of that movie that I read about. It's so gnarly.
And what were the movies? There was a string of them back in the day, and everybody swore that they were real. It was Faces of Death. The Faces of Death movies.
Yes, that's back in the day.
That was way back in the day, and people swore that some of those things were actually real and happened.
Some of the stuff actually was. I mean, but you could tell some of the stuff was not.
So
you know
fake,
what I mean? But it's all on VHS.
Reenacted.
But yeah. It's a fun fact. I mean, I saw Blair Witch Project back in the 90s.
Yes.
And a lot of people thought that was real.
Right.
Which is because they didn't show the script going up at the end.
Right.
So I was like, wow. I had to tell my friend that I took,
Yeah.
like, no, this is not real. She was like, it's totally real. real.
Totally real.
They totally killed that kid. We got to go there and find it. I'm like, no. But that's great hype, though. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You're a big Romero fan.
Huge.
Night of the Living Dead.
Absolutely, yeah.
Which, when he did it, obviously he did it on a very small budget, but he shaped the way that we see zombies,
he did, yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Because prior to that, there were undead characters or people that were dead that came back to life reanimated. That has happened before. But all the lore that we all hold to be true about zombies, we got from him, correct?
Him, yes, and usually it's voodoo lore that happened before.
Right.
But yeah, for George Romero was pretty much the godfather of zombie movies. You got Night of the Living Dead. You got Dawn of the Dead.
Yep.
You got the one here that was filmed locally. If you guys don't know that, George Romero, the godfather of horror, filmed a movie in downtown Fort Myers called Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead.
Which is still all right, that's a gory movie.
It is.
If you watch it, the props are, some of the stuff they do are just gnarly.
Ridiculous.
But yeah, I mean, he said that he did Diary of the Dead, Land of the Dead, and unfortunately, God rest his soul, and come back as a zombie. He's gone now. He died this year.
Yeah.
I had a lucky chance to meet him. Actually, right above my TV is a picture of me and him.
That's awesome.
He's a godfather to me. And
that is so cool. Yeah. One of my favorite things about Night of the Living Dead, the original, and this is a story that goes around, is that he never got it trademarked or copywritten or anything like that.
Right.
Which means that that entire property was up for grabs. Anybody could take it and do what they wanted. There was a film student who took the entire movie, dumped out all the audio, and then added in their own audio. I have it on DVD.
I have it on VHS.
It is great. It is the longest film title in history.
I gotta call my phone
It is
out.
Night of the Day, of the Dawn, of the Son, of the Bride, of the Return, of the Revenge, of the Terror, of the Attack, of the Evil, Mutant, Alien, Flesh-Eating, Hellbound, Zombified, Living Dead Part 2 in shocking 2D.
And he knows about that movie too.
I love
And he laughed his butt off when he brings that up. Actually, my friend showed that to me a long time ago. I'm surprised you know that.
Damn it!
Yeah, that's
I love that
such
guy.
a good And
Mother.
he actually has like the cassette tape, the VHS tape of that, and he wanted to mail it to George Romero.
That's so funny.
Oh yeah, he actually it's funny because they had a fight. So there's one guy who has Night of the Night of the Creeps, Night of this, Night of that, Night of that, and George Romero owns the Dead.
Right.
That's why he has all the Dead ones, and somebody else has all the Night of.
Oh wow.
So I don't really know the whole details about it, but either way, it's still fun to know.
They had to split it up.
Yeah,
you get the Night of, I get the Dead.
Because when you do it, you don't realize it's going to blow up.
Sure.
So it's like, and then of course when money gets involved and lawyers get involved, you got to split everything up, and the fun gets out of it. And,
oh yeah. What do you think
so
about?
Funny you know that movie though.
What about? Well, I love it. I have the DVD at home right now. I watch it every once in a while, and it's my brother introduced it to me years ago.
Out and you hear bloop.
Yes. Yeah. It's so great. What do you think about shows like The Walking Dead? That's a zombie show. I mean, you into
love
it?
the show. Actually, fun fact: Greg Nicorello or Nicotella, I don't know his last name. Really, he's the makeup artist from Evil Dead.
Right.
He started with Evil Dead, and so I got a chance to meet him. Who I love that guy. I actually met most of the cast of Walking Dead. I met Norman Reedus, who's actually really cool.
I've heard that several
really
times.
Cool guy.
I know several people that have met him. Said he's super cool.
Fun fact about him: I actually scared him one day. I dressed as Leatherface really well, and he was hitting on my date at the time.
Nice,
right? And she was all googly about it, and I'm a big guy. I go, "Hey, get your hands off my girl!" And he jumped up. Turns around, he hands me a beer, and we do like a beer, the thing together. It's like okay, and like we were hanging out most of the time. But anyway, that's
what a cool moment.
He really is. Yeah, it was really cool. He actually
awesome.
photobombed one of my photos.
Yes.
Because a police officer wanted to get a photo with me as Leatherface.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden this guy jumps in.
It's Norman
I was like,
Reedus.
okay. It was Norman Reedus. I was like, that guy's But yeah, I love The Walking Dead. I'm a big fan of it. I watch it every Sunday.
Yeah, religiously.
I love the makeup on it. The story's really good. What's funny is I hate the guy Negan.
Right.
I'm Team Rick all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was very mad when Abraham died.
That guy's such a great actor.
Oh yeah, he's really good.
So good at it.
Like he killed Abraham. That was my favorite guy.
Yeah.
He had the best wine-liners.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I was like, I can't wait till that guy dies.
I know.
But I really love that show a lot. The cast. If you ever get a chance to meet the cast or like go to these conventions, do it because they love you. They're really cool to meet you. And they're really happy to meet you.
Yeah,
it's a great show. I have friends in Georgia that live in the area, so they always try to send me photos of the areas.
Yeah.
So next time I go up there, I'm gonna get like pictures next to like Terminus and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine that lived up there, and he was taking photos from the set and stuff. And he said he had pictures of the guy that played Glenn. He's like, "Look, he can't be dead because there he is right there on the set." I'm like, "Okay, wait, we'll just see."
It's funny. I met Glenn, and he actually was a pizza delivery driver, and so was I.
Right.
And he's a comic book lover.
Right.
So when we were talking, and he's like, I was like, yeah, because he actually read the comics before it came out.
Right. So
when
he